Welcome to Learn English while you sleep with Native Flow English. Tonight, you're going to hear English spoken in a natural way. Real conversations, the kind you'd hear in everyday life. As you listen, the sounds and rhythms of English will start to feel familiar, comfortable, and easy to recognize. You don't need to study or focus. You don't even need to stay awake. All you need to do is relax, let go, and allow the words to flow in the background. Your mind is always listening, even while you sleep. The more you hear English, the more natural it becomes. With each conversation, you'll hear the language as it's really spoken. Tone, rhythm, and expression. Then the important words and phrases will gently repeat, giving your brain time to connect with them, to understand them, and to remember them. This process is simple, effortless, and natural. So take a moment to get comfortable. If you're lying down, feel your body sink into the bed. If you're sitting, let your shoulders drop and your breathing slow down. Let your mind become calm and open. You don't need to try. You don't need to concentrate. English will come to you naturally, little by little, word by word, as you rest. In a moment, you'll hear the first dialogue. Just let it play. If your mind wanders, that's fine. If you fall asleep, that's fine too. The language will still be there surrounding you, slowly becoming part of the way you think and understand. Simply relax, listen, and let English guide you into sleep. Now, let's begin. First, we're going to listen to a dialogue called Being Late for Work between John and Emma. After the dialogue, we're going to review some of the vocabulary and phrases that were used in the conversation. Let's begin. John: Man, I was late to work again today. Emma again: What happened this time? John, the bus just didn't show up. Like, I was standing there for, 20 minutes and nothing. Emma, that's so annoying. Did you end up calling your boss, John? No, I just showed up late. He didn't say anything, but I could tell he was irritated. Emma: Yeah, sometimes you can just see it in their face. John: Exactly. He didn't yell or anything, but like the way he looked at me. I know he's keeping track. Emma, you think he'll actually say something? John: Probably. He already gave me a warning last month. He said if I keep being late, they might let me go. Emma, that's rough. But honestly, it's not really your fault if the bus doesn't come. John, true, but from their perspective, it's like not their problem. They just want me there on time. Emma: Yeah, I get that. So what are you going to do, John? I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should start leaving earlier, like catching an earlier bus just in case. Emma, that could work. Or maybe see if anyone from your job lives near you. Carpooling could save you the headache. John, that's a good idea, actually. I just don't really know anyone that well yet. Emma, yeah, but it's worth asking. Better than stressing out every morning. John, for sure. The thing is, I don't even like this job that much, but still, I can't afford to lose it right now. Emma, right? You just got to hang on until you find something better. John, exactly. I'm just hoping nothing else goes wrong this week. Emma, what time were you supposed to be there? John, 8:30. I walked in around 8:50. Emma: Okay, that's not too bad. Like 20 minutes late. Yeah, but at least it wasn't like an hour, John. True, but I just hate walking in and everyone's already working and I'm the guy coming in late. It's embarrassing, Emma. Yeah, I get that, but honestly, people probably didn't notice it as much as you think. John, maybe. Still, I don't want to be that guy, Emma? Yeah, I hear you. I'd probably feel the same, John. Anyway, I'm going to try to get to bed earlier tonight so I don't oversleep. Emma, that's probably smart. You'll feel better too, John. Hopefully. But knowing me, I'll probably end up scrolling on my phone until midnight. Emma, yeah, we all do that. All right, now that we have finished the dialogue, we're going to take a look at some of the vocabulary and phrases. Number 1, didn't show up. For example, the bus didn't show up. He said he'd come to the party, but he never showed up. Didn't show up is the same as didn't arrive or didn't get there. To show up is like to arrive. To get there. Number 2, keeping track. For example, my boss is keeping track of when I'm late. I keep track of my expenses in a notebook. Keeping track is like paying attention, noticing, and remembering. Number 3, they might let me go. For example, if I'm late again, they might let me go. The company isn't making money, so they let some people go. They might let me go is a polite or indirect way to say they might fire me. We also have the expression to lay off, to lay someone off. They might lay me off. The difference between firing someone and laying someone off is that sometimes you do something wrong and they fire you. Sometimes it's not your fault. The company just wants to decrease their number of employees, and so you get laid off. But in this context, John is saying that they might let him go because he made the mistake of being late for work too many times, and therefore they might fire him. They might let him go, number 4, from their perspective. For example, from their perspective, it's not an excuse. From the teacher's perspective, we were just being disruptive. From their perspective is how they see or understand the situation from their point of view. From their perspective. Number 5, carpooling. For example, we carpool to save money on gas. Carpooling makes the commute easier. Carpooling is sharing a ride with someone else to work or school. Usually, people alternate vehicles. For example, today, John drives Emma to work, and the next day, Emma drives John to work. Often, people who do carpooling will alternate. They will take turns driving each other, using each other's car. Number 6, can't afford to lose it. For example, I don't like the job, but I can't afford to lose it. I can't afford to miss rent this month. Can't afford to lose it means you don't have the money or situation to risk losing something. You can't afford to lose it. You can't lose it because your situation needs it right now. You need the money. You need this job. So you just can't lose it. You need it. Can't afford to lose it. Number 7, walk in. Example, I walked in late. She walked in while we were eating. To walk in is a casual way of saying arriving, getting there. More literally, entering. Entering the building, the workplace. I walked in late. I walked into my workplace late. Number 8, that guy. For example, I don't want to be that guy who's always late. Don't be that guy who ruins the movie by talking. In this context, it is a negative label for someone with a reputation that is often embarrassing or annoying. So, John doesn't want to be that guy who's always late. The guy who's always late. Number 9, scroll on my phone. For example, I stayed up late scrolling on my phone. He scrolls on his phone all day. To scroll on your phone is to look at social media or apps on your phone, often for a long time without noticing. So the action of scrolling is literally when you move your finger up and down so that the screen moves. So, for example, you're on Instagram and you're scrolling. So you're moving the screen down and you're seeing more and more videos or pictures. You're scrolling through your Instagram feed, or your Facebook feed, or timeline, or whatever it's called. That is the action of scrolling, and often people mindlessly scroll. I'm mindlessly scrolling. Mindlessly scrolling. This is when you're not really paying attention. You don't realize how much you're scrolling just because you're bored or whatever. You're not doing it intentionally. You're just mindlessly scrolling. All right, what did you think of that dialogue? Did you learn any new words or phrases? Now, we're going to take a look at another realistic dialogue, and it's vocab and phrases. Dialogue number 2 is called Weekend Plans. It's a conversation between Sophia and Daniel. Let's begin. Sophia, so what are you doing this weekend, Daniel? Honestly, nothing exciting. Probably just catching up on laundry. Sophia, H. Same. I swear no matter how often I do laundry, the basket's always full again. Daniel. Yeah, it's never ending. I might also clean the kitchen. It's a mess right now. Sophia, same here. I was cooking last night and just left everything on the counter. I was too tired to clean up. Daniel, oh, I do that all the time. I'll be like, I'll wash the dishes tomorrow. And then the next day comes, and they're still sitting there, Sophia. And it's worse the next day because now everything's stuck to the pan. Daniel, exactly. I hate when pasta sauce dries on the plate. It's impossible to scrub off, Sophia. Yeah, you need a chisel at that point. Daniel? Anyway, I might meet up with a friend Saturday afternoon, but I'm not sure yet. Sophia. Nice. What are you guys going to do, Daniel? Probably just grab some food, maybe Mexican or Thai. We haven't decided. Sophia, that sounds good. I haven't had Thai food in forever. Daniel, same. Honestly though, it depends if I have the energy. By Saturday, I'm usually wiped out. Sophia. Yeah, me too. I always think I'll do something fun, but by the weekend, I'm just catching up on sleep. Daniel, right? I feel like I'm either running errands or just lying around. Sophia, yep, no in between. Daniel, what about you? Any plans? Sophia? Well, I was going to visit my parents, but it's a bit of a hassle getting out there. It's like an hour-and-a-half drive. Daniel, that's not too bad. Ooh. Sophia, true, but it feels longer when there's traffic and I always end up staying way later than I planned. Daniel, yeah, that happens. You say you'll leave at 8 o'clock, but suddenly it's 10:30. Sophia, exactly. And then I'm exhausted the next day. Daniel, still. It's nice to see family. Sophia. Yeah, it is. I just have to be in the right mood for it, you know, Daniel. Totally. Sometimes I just want to do nothing all weekend. Sophia, same. Honestly, doing nothing sounds pretty great right now. Daniel, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Laundry, dishes, maybe a nap. That's my plan. Sophia, living the dream. All right, I hope you enjoyed that dialogue. Now, we're going to take a look at the vocabulary and phrases. Some of them, not all of them. Number 1, catching up on something. This is doing something that you've been behind on. For example, I'm catching up on laundry this weekend. I need to catch up on emails. Number 2, never ending. Something that feels like it never stops, literally, and never ends. Examples. The laundry is never ending. This meeting feels never ending. Number 3, scrub off. This is to clean something by rubbing hard. I had to scrub off the dried pasta sauce. She scrubbed off the Joner from the desk. 4, grab some food. This is a very common way to say, go eat, usually casually. Let's grab some food after work. We grabbed pizza last night. 5. Wiped out, extremely tired, no energy. By Saturday, I'm wiped out. After the workout, I was totally wiped out. 6. Running errands, doing small tasks like shopping, paying bills, etc. I spent my Saturday running errands. She had to run errands before the party. 7. A hassle. Something annoying, inconvenient, or difficult. Visiting my parents is kind of a hassle. Getting a new driver's license is such a hassle. 8. In the right mood, feeling like doing something. I have to be in the right mood to clean. I'm not in the mood to go out tonight. 9. Living the dream. Said jokingly when you're describing something ordinary, not actually exciting. So Sophia said this in a sarcastic way. Laundry, dishes, and a nap, living the dream. Back to work on Monday. Living the dream. All right, did you learn anything new from the conversation between Sophia and Daniel? I hope so. All right, on to the next dialogue. By the way, are you still awake? It's okay if you're not, but if you still are, let's keep going. Dialogue number 3, grocery shopping. Sometimes we say grocery shopping. Grocery. Grocery. Either way, this conversation is between Lily and Ethan. Let's begin. Lily, I have to go grocery shopping later and I really don't want to. Ethan, same. I keep putting it off, but now my fridge is basically empty. Lily, yeah, mine too. I think I have like half a bottle of ketchup and some wilted lettuce. Ethan, that's basically where I'm at. I've got soy milk, but it expires tomorrow. Lily, I hate when that happens. You think you have food, but then you look closer and it's all expired, Ethan. Yeah, or it's one random thing that doesn't go with anything else. Like, I've got a can of chickpeas and a jar of pickles. What am I supposed to do with that, Lily? Honestly, same. I have like one frozen waffle left in the box. Not even 2, just 1. Ethan, do you usually go to the big Super Jonette, or do you shop at the little store near your place? Lily, usually the big one, but I hate how crowded it gets on weekends. Ethan, oh, for sure. Saturday afternoon, forget it. It's packed. Lily, exactly. The lines are insane. You're standing there forever. Ethan, that's why I usually go late at night, like around 9 or 10. Hardly anyone's there. Lily, yeah, but then half the stuff is sold out. Ethan, true, it's a gamble. Lily, what do you usually buy every week? Ethan, basics, I guess. Bread, oat milk, some fruit, tofu, rice, stuff like that. Lily, yeah, same. I try to buy vegetables, but they always go bad before I eat them. Ethan, oh, same here. I'll buy spinach thinking I'm going to be healthy, and then a week later, it's just a slimy mess in the back of my fridge. Lily, literally me. I always feel guilty throwing it away. Ethan, yeah, it's like I'm just wasting money at that point. Lily, do you make a list before you go? Ethan, sometimes, but usually I just walk around the store and grab whatever looks good. Lily, that's dangerous. That's how you end up spending way too much. Ethan, yeah, last time I went in for oat milk and bread and I left with 40 worth of snacks. Lily, classic. I do the same thing. Chips, cookies, ice cream, all the stuff I don't need. Ethan, exactly. And then when I actually want to cook a real meal, I'm like, great, I have nothing. Lily, yep, same. Ethan, are you going tonight or tomorrow? Lily, tonight probably. If I wait until tomorrow, I'll just end up ordering food again. Ethan, true. Delivery adds up quick. Ads. Lily, yeah, I checked my bank statement the other day and I was like, wow, I spent how much on takeout? Ethan, I don't even want to know how much I've spent. All right, now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary and phrases used in that dialogue. Number 1, putting it off. This means delaying something that you don't want to do. For example, I've been putting off cleaning the bathroom all week. She keeps putting off calling her parents. Too wilted, old, soft, and not fresh anymore. The flowers wilted in the heat. My salad greens were already wilted when I opened the bag. Expires. Number 3. Expires. The date when food or drinks are no longer safe to eat. This oat milk expires tomorrow. Don't drink that juice. It expired last week. 4. Doesn't go with anything else. Doesn't match or can't be combined. These shoes don't go with anything else I own. A jar of olives doesn't go with the rest of my dinner. Number 5. Packed. Very crowded or full. The subway was packed during rush hour. The store is always packed on Sunday afternoons. 6. A gamble. Risky. You don't know how it will turn out. Buying used electronics online is always a gamble. Trying a new recipe without instructions is always a gamble. 7. Slimy. Wet, slippery, and gross. The spinach in my fridge turned slimy. The sink felt slimy because it hadn't been cleaned. 8. Grab whatever looks good. Pick things impulsively without a plan. I didn't make a list, so I just grabbed whatever looked good. He grabbed whatever looked good at the buffet. He grabbed whatever looked good at the buffet. 9. Adds up quick. Small amounts become a lot over time. Eating out every day adds up quick. Those little fees on your bill add up quick. All right, are you ready for dialogue number 4? Let's go. All right, now we have dialogue number 4, which is called Breakfast and Cooking Habits. The conversation is between Alex and Jordan. Alex, I was so tired this morning. I almost skipped breakfast. Jordan, same. I just grabbed a banana on my way out the door. Alex, that's better than me. I had nothing. Just coffee. Jordan, coffee counts as breakfast, right? Alex, not really, but I like to pretend. Jordan, I usually try to eat oatmeal or something, but I ran out yesterday. Alex, oatmeal is solid. Do you make it plain or add stuff? Jordan, I throw in some peanut butter, chia seeds, maybe fruit if I have any, Alex. Nice. I always say I'll do that, but then I just eat toast with avocado. Jordan, hey, that's good too. Simple but filling. Alex, true, but sometimes I look in my kitchen and it's just random ingredients. Like I have pasta, but no sauce, or rice, but no veggies. Jordan, same here. I swear I'll have 6 bags of frozen peas, but nothing to actually cook with them. Alex, why is that so relatable? Jordan, because we're all bad at shopping. Do you meal prep? Alex, I've tried, but I always get bored of eating the same thing 3 days in a row. Jordan, yeah, I'll make a big pot of lentil soup, and by the 3rd day I'm like, nope, done. Alex, exactly. I wish I was one of those people who can eat the same thing every day. Jordan, honestly, I get jealous of them. It must make life so much easier. Alex, yeah, no decisions. Just eat and move on, Jordan. But then again, food is supposed to be enjoyable. Alex, true. Like last night, I made stir-fry with tofu and veggies, and it was amazing. Jordan, nice. What veggies did you use? Alex, broccoli, carrots, peppers, just whatever I had left. Jordan, classic combo. I should do that tonight. Alex, do it. Quick, easy, healthy Jordan, and way cheaper than ordering takeout. Alex, oh my God, yes. Takeout is my weakness. Jordan, same. I'll be like, it's only $15. Then I realize I've done that 4 times in a week. Alex, yeah, it adds up so fast. Jordan, I'm trying to cook more at home, but I just get lazy. Alex, honestly, same. All right, now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary that they used in the dialogue. Number 1, skipped breakfast. This means they didn't eat in the morning. I was running late, so I skipped breakfast. She always skips breakfast before exams. 2 ran out, used up all of something. I ran out of oat milk, so I couldn't make coffee. We ran out of rice last night. 3, throw in, add casually. I threw in some spinach to the pasta. He likes to throw in a few jokes during class. 4, random ingredients. Food that doesn't match or make a full meal. I opened my fridge and only had random ingredients. It's hard to cook with random ingredients. 5, relatable. Easy to understand because you've had the same experience. That video was so relatable. Her story about procrastinating was super relatable. 6, meal prep. Cooking food in abundance for the week. I meal prep on Sundays so I don't have to cook every night. Meal prep helps me save money. 7, done, finished. Can't handle more of something. After 3 slices of cake, I'm done. He studied for 6 hours straight and was completely done. 8, weakness, something you can't resist. Chocolate is my weakness. Her weakness is buying shoes. 9 adds up. Costs or numbers increase quickly. Eating out all the time really adds up. Small expenses add up over the month. All right. Did you learn something from that dialogue or the vocabulary review? I hope so. Want to move on to dialogue number 5? All right, let's go. Are you still alive? Hello? Hello out there. Are you alive? Either way, I'm going to continue. We're keeping it moving. All right. Now, we have dialogue number 5, which is called Weekend Plans. This is a conversation between Lena or Lena, depending on how you want to say it. But let's say Lena, because probably people who speak American English would say that. And Marcus, let's begin. Lena, do you have any plans for the weekend? Marcus? Not really. I was thinking about maybe cleaning my apartment, but that doesn't sound very exciting. Lena? Yeah, that's not exactly fun, Marcus. No kidding. What about you, Lena? I might go see a movie with a friend. We've been talking about it for weeks, but we never actually go. Marcus, which movie, Lena? That new one everyone keeps talking about. I forget the name, but it's supposed to be really good. Marcus. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about that one. The one with the big twist at the end. Lena. Yeah, that's the one. Don't spoil it if you know what happens. Marcus, I don't. I've just seen people posting about it online. Lena, honestly, that's kind of the only reason I want to see it. Everyone keeps hyping it up. Marcus. True, I usually wait until movies are streaming, though. The theater is so expensive now. Lena, I know. Last time I went, I spent more on popcorn and a drink than on the actual ticket. Marcus, exactly. And if you get candy too, forget it. That's like $25 gone. Lena, yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's still fun every once in a while. Marcus, for sure. I actually can't remember the last time I went to the movies. Lena, same. I think the last time for me was like a year ago, maybe longer. Marcus, do you ever just stay home and watch random stuff instead? Lena, all the time. Half the time I spend more time scrolling through Netflix than actually watching anything. Marcus, same. I'll sit there for like 40 minutes just reading descriptions and trailers. And then I give up. Lena, exactly. Then I just put on some old show I've seen a million times. Marcus, comfort shows. Gotta love them. Lena. Yep. Do you have a favorite, Marcus? Honestly, probably The Office. I can rewatch it forever. Lena, classic. For me, it's Friends. Total comfort show. Marcus, nice. So, you definitely going to go to the movies this weekend? Are you definitely going to go to the movies this weekend, Lena? I mean, I want to, but it depends if my friend actually follows through. She always cancels last minute. Marcus. Oof, I know the feeling. Nothing worse than getting ready to go out and then, sorry, can't make it, Lena. Exactly. Then I'm just sitting there like, cool, guess I'll stay home. Marcus, hey, staying home isn't so bad. You can save money, cook something, chill, Lena. True, do you cook much? Marcus, sometimes. Mostly simple stuff. Pasta, rice, stir-fry, easy things. Lena, same. I always say I'll cook more, but then I get lazy. Marcus, story of my life. Lena, same. Anyway, if my friend cancels, maybe I'll just do a cleaning day too. Marcus, look at us. So exciting. Lena, wild weekend plans. All right, now it's time to take a look at some of the vocabulary that we heard in the dialogue. Number 1, not exactly fun. A casual way to say something isn't enjoyable. Cleaning my room is not exactly fun, but it has to be done. Sitting in traffic for an hour is not exactly fun either. 2, hype it up to talk about something a lot and make it sound better than it really is. Everyone hyped up that new show, but I didn't like it. He always hypes up his cooking, but it's just average. 3, forget it. Used to say, don't even think about it, or it's impossible. If you try to get tickets last minute, forget it. Parking downtown on a Friday night, forget it. Number 4, comfort show. A TV show you watch repeatedly because it feels familiar and relaxing. Friends is her comfort show. She watches it almost every night. My comfort show is The Simpsons. 5, last minute. Very close to the time when something is supposed to happen. He always cancels plans the last minute. They change the meeting location at the last minute. 6, oof. Informal sound to react to something bad, annoying, or disappointing. Oof. That test was harder than I expected. Oh, sorry you had such a rough day. By the way, this is not an official English word, but it's just kind of a universal reaction I think people do in other languages as well. All right, number 7. Story of my life. A phrase used when something always happens to you, often in a frustrating way. I always lose my keys. Story of my life. Staying up too late and being tired in the morning. Story of my life. 8. Wild weekend plans. A sarcastic way to describe boring or normal plans. Doing laundry and grocery shopping. Wild weekend plans. Staying in and watching TV. Wild weekend plans. 9. Follow through. To actually do what you said you'd do. He promised to help, but didn't follow through. If she doesn't follow through with her plans, we'll have to cancel. All right. So, by the way, guys, some of these are super common phrases that we use all the time. Some of them are not necessarily extremely common phrases that we use all the time, but just native speakers being creative, being funny, putting words together, and saying things like comfort show or wild weekend plans. These are just kind of like jokes, but not necessarily like an extremely common phrase. But then we have other phrases like story of my life or follow through, which are extremely common phrases that everybody says, basically a lot of people. So, but these lists of vocabulary that I'm going over with you are just based off some of the phrases in the dialogue. So just to explain and elaborate on some of the things that you heard in the dialogue. That's it. All right. Well, I hope you're enjoying this relaxing English lesson, and we will continue with the next dialogue. All right, are you ready for dialogue number 6 called Running Late? It's a conversation between Nina and Alex. Let's go, Nina. H, I hate mornings. I was supposed to wake up at 7, but I didn't get out of bed until 8:30. Alex, same. My alarm went off and I just kept hitting snooze. Nina, I swear snooze is dangerous. It tricks you into thinking 5 more minutes won't hurt, but suddenly it's an hour later. Alex, exactly. But then you're rushing around trying to get ready in 10 minutes. Nina, that was me today. I didn't even have time to make breakfast. I just grabbed a banana and ran out the door. Alex, honestly, that's better than nothing. I skipped breakfast completely. Nina, don't you get hungry later? Alex? Oh, totally. By 10 a.m., my stomach's making noises in the middle of meetings. It's so embarrassing. Nina, been there. Sometimes I bring snacks, but I always forget to pack them. Alex, same. And when I don't, I end up buying overpriced granola bars from the vending machine. Nina, those machines are such a trap. You're desperate, so you spend $3 on something tiny. Alex, exactly. And then I regret it. I regret. Nina, so were you late to work today, Alex? Yeah, a little. My boss didn't say anything. Feel like if it happens again, I'll be in trouble. Nah. Oh yeah? I used to be late all the time at my old job, and eventually they started writing me up. Alex, that's what I'm worried about. It's not like I mean to be late. I just can't seem to get my mornings together. Nina, maybe you need to go to bed earlier. Alex. I try, but then I get stuck on my phone scrolling. Nina, same. I tell myself. Just 5 more minutes, and then suddenly it's midnight. Alex, exactly. And then when the alarm goes off, it feels impossible to get up. Nina, honestly, I think the trick is setting a real routine, like put your phone across the room so you have to actually get out of bed to turn off the alarm. Alex, that's smart. But then I'd probably just crawl back into bed anyway. Nah. Yeah, true. It takes serious willpower. Alex, do you drink coffee in the morning? Nina, yep. It's the only thing that wakes me up. I make a big cup as soon as I get to the kitchen. Alex, I usually do too, but today I didn't even have time. I'm dying without it. Nah, that explains why you look half asleep right now. Alex, thanks. Appreciate that. Nina, just being honest. All right, now let's take a look at the vocabulary. We have number 1, snooze or the snooze button. This is the button on an alarm clock or phone that delays the alarm for a few minutes. I kept hitting snooze and ended up being late. The snooze button is my worst enemy in the morning. 2, rush around. To move quickly because you're in a hurry. I had to rush around to get ready for work. She kept rushing around the house looking for her keys. 3, grab and go. To quickly take something to eat or bring with you without sitting down. I grabbed a sandwich and ate it on the way. This cafe is good for grab-and-go snacks. 4, overpriced, costing more than it's really worth. That smoothie was totally overpriced. The clothes at that store are cute, but way overpriced. 5, a trap, something that tricks you into doing or spending more than you should. The vending machine is a trap when you're hungry. Black Friday sales are kind of a trap. 6, write up, an official warning from a boss at work. He got written up for being late too many times. If you keep missing deadlines, they'll write you up. 7, get my mornings together. Informal way of saying, organize my morning routine. I can't seem to get my mornings together. Once I got my mornings together, I stopped being late. 8, willpower. The mental strength to control yourself and do something difficult. It takes willpower to wake up early every day. She used her willpower to resist buying junk food. 9, half asleep, very tired, not fully awake. He looked half asleep during the meeting. I can't focus when I'm half asleep. All right, how was that one? How was that dialogue for you? Are you awake or are you asleep? Are you relaxed? Do you understand me? How easy is this for you? How difficult is this for you? If you're still awake, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this video. I'm always open to suggestions. Do you think this is adequate for your English level? Would you like something more challenging or perhaps easier? I'm trying to speak at a normal pace when I do the dialogue and just in general. This is normal. It's normal to take pauses between saying things, but it's also normal to say sentences altogether quickly, especially in the dialogue. What do you think about the speed? Does it seem natural to you? Why or why not? I think that sometimes things on the internet can be a little bit faster than real life or slower than real life, and it confuses us. But real life speaking, it varies. Sometimes it's really slow, and sometimes it's really fast. So yeah, I guess you never know what you're going to get. All right. So I guess we will continue with the next dialogue. All right. Dialogue 7. At the coffee shop, we have a conversation between Jordan and Taylor. Jordan. H. I barely slept last night. I need like 3 coffees just to function. Taylor. Same here. I went to bed late and then I kept waking up. It was awful. Jordan. Yeah, I tossed and turned for hours. Anyway, I'm getting a large cold brew. What about you, Taylor? Probably just a latte with oat milk. If I drink too much coffee, I get super jittery, Jordan. Oh, I get that. Last week, I had 2 cold brews back to back and my hands were literally shaking. Taylor, that's when you know it's bad. Do you usually go to this cafe? Jordan. Yeah, it's on my way to work, so it's kind of my go-to spot. The barista even knows my order now. Taylor, that's the best. I love when they remember without asking. Makes you feel like a regular. Jordan, exactly. But it's dangerous too, 'cause I end up spending way too much money here, Taylor. Oh, same. Coffee shop prices are ridiculous. $4 or $5 for one drink, Jordan. Yeah? And then if you add a muffin or a cookie, suddenly it's like $8. Taylor? Right. And you justify it by saying, well, I need a breakfast anyway, Jordan. Exactly. And then you get hungry 2 hours later. Taylor, do you ever try making coffee at home instead? Jordan, sometimes I have a French press, but honestly, it's not the same. Taylor, I know what you mean. I bought an espresso machine once, but it just sat there collecting dust. Jordan, classic. Good intention, zero follow-through. Taylor, yep, that's me. Plus, it's the vibe here. You know, you can't really recreate that at home. Jordan, for sure. People working on laptops, music in the background, that smell of coffee. It's just different. Taylor, totally. Do you ever get snacks here or just coffee? Jordan, mostly coffee. Sometimes I grab a bagel, but usually I try not to. Taylor, same. I'll get tempted by those giant chocolate chip cookies, though. They're impossible to resist. Jordan, I know the ones you mean. They're like the size of your face. Taylor, exactly. And you're like, okay, I'll just eat half. But then somehow the whole thing's gone. Jordan, story of my life. Anyway, you ready to order, Taylor? Yeah, let's do it. All right, are you ready for the vocabulary? Are you ready? Number 1, toss and turn. To move around a lot in bed because you can't sleep. I was tossing and turning all night before my job interview. She couldn't relax, so she just kept tossing and turning. 2, cold brew. Coffee made by steeping ground coffee in cold water for a long time. He ordered a cold brew instead of regular iced coffee. Cold brew usually has more caffeine than hot coffee. 3, jittery, nervous, shaky, or restless, often from too much caffeine. I get jittery if I drink coffee on an empty stomach. She felt jittery before giving her presentation. 4, go to the thing you usually choose because it's reliable. Pizza is my go-to food when I don't feel like cooking. This cafe is my go-to spot for studying. Regular, a customer who comes often to the same place. He's such a regular that the bartender knows his order by heart. She became a regular at the yoga studio after moving nearby. 6, ridiculous. Something so extreme or silly that it's hard to believe. The rent prices in this city are ridiculous. Paying $10 for a salad is ridiculous. 7, justify. To give a reason that makes something seem okay. You tried to justify buying new shoes by saying they were on sale. I just can't justify spending that much money on coffee every day. 8, collect dust. When something just sits unused for a long time. My guitar has been collecting dust since high school. The treadmill in the corner is basically collecting dust. Follow through. Number 9, follow through. Actually finishing what you started or planned. She always has good ideas, but never follows through with them. He bought workout gear, but didn't have any follow-through. All right, that's the end of dialogue number 7 and its associated vocabulary and phrases. By the way, I just wanted to say, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, if you're awake, that in the story in the dialogue, they mentioned that the price of a coffee was like $4 or $5. This must be an old story because in the United States today, I think it's much more than that. I think if you go to a coffee shop and you get a coffee, even a small one, I think you're probably going to spend at least $8 at least. So, yeah, inflation. All right, are you ready for dialogue number 8? Well, I hope so, 'cause it's coming. All right, dialogue number 8 is called Moving Stress. It's a conversation between Aaron and John, I swear. Oh, sorry, Aaron. I swear moving is the worst. I don't know how I've managed to collect so much stuff. John. Oh, same. Oh, by the way, guys, they're using same a lot in these dialogues, which, yeah, we use it. We do say that, but they're using it a bit more than we use. We use it, but not like this much. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit excessive in these dialogues. All right, I'm aware. But we do use it, John. Oh, same. Every time I move, I'm like, where did all this come from? It's like my things multiply when I'm not looking. Aaron, exactly. And I thought I didn't even own that much. But then you start pulling stuff out of closets, and suddenly there are boxes everywhere. John, don't even get me started on the kitchen. Pots, pans, random gadgets you forgot you even had. Aaron, seriously, I found a juicer I bought years ago, still in the box. Never touched it. John, classic. I did the same thing with a rice cooker. I used it once and then shoved it in the back of the cabinet. Aaron, and the worst part is packing clothes. Like, why do I have 7 hoodies when I live in a warm state, John? Yeah, and you can't even get rid of them because you convince yourself, well, maybe I'll need this someday. Aaron, exactly. That's how I end up with boxes full of clothes I never wear. John, are you moving far? Aaron, not really, just across town. But it still feels like a nightmare. I'm doing it all myself this weekend. John, oh, you didn't hire movers. Aaron, nah, too expensive. I'll probably just rope a couple of friends into helping me. John, good luck with that. People vanish real quick when you mention moving. Aaron, yeah, I've noticed everyone's busy all of a sudden. John, exactly. And if they do show up, they expect free pizza as payment. Aaron, honestly, that's fair. I'd work for pizza. John, same. And maybe some drinks afterward. Got to keep morale up. Aaron, true. I'm just dreading carrying furniture down the stairs. My couch barely fit going in, John. Oh no, that's the worst. I once had to get rid of a couch because it literally wouldn't fit through the door. Aaron, don't tell me that. I can already picture it happening. John, at least you're only moving across town. When I moved states, it was brutal. The truck rental alone was hundreds of dollars. Aaron, yeah, no thanks. I don't think I could handle that right now. This little move is already stressing me out. John, you'll get through it. Just take it one box at a time. Aaron, that's what I keep telling myself. Maybe once I'm settled, I'll finally declutter and get rid of all the junk. John, famous last words. You'll probably just end up filling the new place with more stuff, Aaron. H, you're probably right. All right, are you ready for the vocabulary? The dialogues are cheesy. I am aware they are very corny, very cheesy. Corny and cheesy is like basically the same thing. Yeah, these are extra cheesy. Like it's based off how we talk in real life, but in real life we're usually not this corny. Yeah, all of these people in these dialogues have the same personality. Every single character in every single one of these dialogues that I have given you, that I've been, reading, and the characters have the same personality. Have you noticed this? So yeah, but there's still a lot of English, a lot of realistic American English you can pick up on from here. So, all right, let's get into the vocab. Number 1, multiply. When something seems to increase quickly or unexpectedly, in this context, of course, my dirty laundry multiplies every week. Books just seem to multiply on my shelves. 2, gadgets. Small tools or devices, often for the kitchen or technology. Gadgets. She bought a gadget that peels apples automatically. Most of my kitchen gadgets are just sitting in a drawer. Yeah, gadgets. It is a word that people understand, but we probably would just say something else like, she bought a thing that peels apples, or a tool, or an apple peeler, or most of my kitchen utensils. You know, we usually use other words. Gadgets is a little bit vague. It's a little bit too general, but it is a word. 3, shoved, pushed carelessly into a space. He shoved the clothes into the suitcase without folding them. I shoved my keys into my pocket before leaving. 3, convince yourself. To make yourself believe something, even if it isn't practical. I convinced myself I needed another pair of shoes. He convinced himself he'd use the treadmill, but he never did. 5, rope into something. To persuade or trick someone into helping. She roped her brother into helping with the party. I got roped into working overtime again. Overtime again. Working overtime. Yeah. Some of these things like that, for example. Yeah. You might hear native speakers say it every once in a while. It's kind of like, an idiom, or so. It's like a phrasal verb and an idiom. It's both. Yeah, so it's like something that, yeah, you'll hear it sometimes. But it's not like everyday thing people say. It's not like that, but you might hear it. Number 6, vanish. To disappear quickly. The cookies vanished within minutes of being put on the table. He mentioned moving, and suddenly all his friends vanished. Don't feel bad if you feel like, English vocabulary is infinite. So many words I don't know. Yeah, I'm never going to learn this language because, like I said, a lot of this stuff is you're not going to hear it most of the time. You might hear it once in a while. And there's usually another, more simple way of saying it. So you don't even have to use it yourself. Like, instead of saying vanish, you can say disappear. You know, same thing. Yeah, you know how we like to just use different words to say the same thing sometimes? But you can always just say the simple standard word that is probably the most common, and it's probably the word that you already know. So don't worry about it. Yeah, don't ever feel discouraged because there's just so much vocabulary in a language, and you'll never know it. There's a lot of vocabulary in Spanish I just simply don't know that exists. But I'm not concerned with it because if I can say what I want to say, I'm good. But I am always open to expanding my vocabulary at the same time. 7, morale. The overall mood or spirit of a group of people. Snacks helped keep the team's morale high during the late shift. The coach gave a speech to boost morale after the loss. Number 8, brutal. Extremely difficult, harsh, or unpleasant. That workout was brutal. I could barely walk afterward. Moving in the heat was brutal. 9, declutter. To get rid of unnecessary items. I try to declutter my closet every spring. She spent the weekend decluttering her apartment. All right, how was Dialogue 8? Are you ready for Dialogue 9? All right. Dialogue 9 is called Job Interview Nerves. It is a conversation between Selena and Damien. That's how we would pronounce those names in American English. Okay. Selena, I have that interview tomorrow, and I can already feel my stomach in knots. Damien, what time is it? Selena, 11 o'clock in the morning, which means I'll be stressing about it all night and barely sleeping. Damien, yeah, that's the worst. Do you have your outfit picked out? Selena, kind of. I tried on like 5 things and they all made me feel weird. Too casual, too formal. Not me. Damien, that's tricky. You want to look professional, but also like yourself. Selena, exactly. I finally just went with black slacks, a button-up, and a blazer. Safe, but not boring. Damien, perfect. Can't go wrong with that combo. Selena, I hope so. I just keep imagining them asking me some super technical questions, and my mind going blank. Damien, that happens to everyone. If you don't know something, just stay calm and talk through your thought process. They usually care more about how you think than if you spit out the perfect answer. Selena, easier said than done when you feel like you're under a microscope. Damien, true. Do you know who's interviewing you? Selena, I think it's a panel. Like 3 people at once. Damien, oh, that's rough. One-on-one is nerve-wracking enough, but 3 pairs of eyes staring at you, Selena? Exactly. I hate when they all write things down at the same time. You're like, great, what did I say wrong, Damien? Yeah, I've been there. But honestly, half the time they're just taking notes on something positive, Selena, maybe. Still feels like judgment. Damien, just remember it's not an interrogation. It's basically a conversation where you show them that you can handle the role. Selena, I know, but my brain just doesn't believe that. Just screams, don't mess up. Damien, here's what I do. I go in with a few stories prepared, like times I solved a problem or dealt with a tough situation. That way I can kind of steer the answers back to something I've already thought about.